Imagine opening your door at midnight and finding not just a stranger, but the one person who holds power over your entire life. What would you do? Slam the door shut, or let destiny walk right in? This is the story of Marcus, a man whose nights were filled with silence and loneliness, until one stormy night, a knock at his door revealed a truth he never could have imagined, a truth that would change his life forever. It was one of those nights where silence felt heavier than words. In a small apartment tucked away in the city, a lonely black man named Marcus sat by his window, staring at the dim glow of streetlights. His life had become a rhythm of work, exhaustion, and memories that haunted him in the quiet. The world outside seemed to move forward, but for Marcus, every day felt the same, empty and cold. Then, just as midnight approached, a sudden knock echoed through the silence. 3 firm knocks. Marcus stiffened, confused. Who could it be at this hour? He hesitated, his heart pounding in his chest. Slowly, he walked to the door, each step heavy with uncertainty. When he opened it, he was met with a sight he could never have predicted. There she was, a young white woman, drenched from the rain, her hair clinging to her face. Her expensive coat was soaked through, her hands trembling as she clutched it tighter. Her eyes, wide with desperation, met his. "Please," she whispered, her voice barely audible. I need somewhere safe." Marcus didn't move at first. His life had taught him caution. Trust wasn't something freely given. But something about the way she stood there, shivering in the dark, broke down his guard. With a sigh, he stepped aside and gestured for her to come in. The warmth of the small apartment contrasted sharply with the storm outside. She entered quietly, her eyes scanning the modest room. Marcus pulled out a chair, awkwardly offering her a seat. He didn't ask who she was or why she was there, not yet. Instead, he poured a cup of tea, sliding it gently across the table toward her. For a few moments, silence filled the room. Only the ticking clock and the sound of rain against the glass broke the air. Then, slowly, she spoke. "You don't know me," she began, her hands wrapped around the steaming cup. "But I know you." Marcus frowned. Confusion etched across his face. "What do you mean?" She hesitated, her lips trembling as if the truth itself weighed heavily on her chest. Then, with a shaky breath, she said the words that would turn his world upside down. "I'm the CEO of the company you work for, and tonight, I couldn't be anywhere else but here." Marcus froze. The woman sitting in his small apartment wasn't just a stranger. She was his boss, the untouchable figure who existed in skyscrapers and boardrooms far removed from his world. His first instinct was disbelief. Was this a trick? A cruel joke? But her eyes told another story, one of exhaustion, loneliness, and a desperate need to be seen, not as a CEO, not as a figure of power, but as a human being. Anger and confusion twisted inside him. "Why here? Why me?" he asked. Her voice cracked. "Because everyone sees me as something I'm not. They see power, money, control. But you don't know that side of me. I just wanted to be real, just for one night." The silence that followed was heavy, but different this time. Marcus looked at her, truly looked at her, and saw not the CEO, not the wealthy figure, but a woman stripped of her walls, vulnerable, lonely, much like himself. Slowly, his anger softened into something unexpected. Compassion. Maybe fate had brought her to his door for a reason. As the storm raged outside, 2 strangers, worlds apart in every way, sat across from each other in a tiny apartment. And in that moment, They weren't CEO and employee. They were just two souls, bound by loneliness, daring to let fate take control. Because sometimes, the people who change our lives forever are the ones we least expect to find at our door. Marcus never expected the CEO of his company to show up at his door, stripped of her power and wealth, just another human searching for comfort. But sometimes, fate doesn't knock where it should. It knocks where it must. So I'll ask you this. If fate brought someone unexpected to your door, would you let them in?